Okay, that completes the consent calendar. We move on to item number 10, which is public hearings, and this is matters relating to the authorizing grant applications for fiscal year 9-10 Community Development Block Grant, Planning and Technical Assistant Grant Funds through the State Department of Housing and Community Development. We have two issues. One is to adopt a resolution authorizing the submission of a grant application for $35,000 for a household income and housing needs survey, and authorizing the city manager to execution of all related documents to implement the grant activities. We'll take that one first. Mr. Dowswell.
Good evening, Mayor. As you mentioned, what we're asking you to approve is a application for a grant that we would like to use to do a housing survey, income household survey. As some of you I think are aware, it's an issue that's come up a number of times at the General Plan Advisory Committee meeting. There's a lot of misinformation, or maybe lack of information that's out there as to what we really need in the way of types of housing. And we would use this money to work with the General Plan Advisory Committee to develop a survey that would then be presented to the community and hopefully get the answers that we need. And the idea of the grant would be allow us to hire a professional survey firm to work with us so that the survey information is valid and that we can use it as a basis for making informed decisions.
Is this a mail-out survey or a phone?
It could be either, council member. The particular company that I have had contact with, they did a mail-out survey on a situation like this.
What's the selective return for something like that?
They're looking for, I can't remember a percentage, but typically if they get 400 responses in a community this size, 2,000,
say,
that'll give them enough
5%
to do a valid analysis of the data. I have it in the proposal, but I apologize, I don't have that committed to memory. But I know the number was 400.
And my sense would be that if a phone survey was conducted, you probably wouldn't get much more of a response either, because people will hang up
or not answer.
When you say, I'm so-and-so, I want to take a few moments of your precious time. So.
Yeah, so that's our objective, is if we are awarded this grant to then go back. And just so you know, at the last General Plan Advisory Committee meeting, they did authorize me to move forward with this grant application with the hopes that if we were to secure it, that we could do as I've mentioned.
Okay, you've included a lot of information in your staff report. Any other questions of Mr. Dowswell? Thank you, Dave. I'll open up the public hearing. Anybody wishing to, in the public, wishing to speak on this particular issue regarding the application for a grant for community survey? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Let's do item number 2, and then we can take these both in one fell swoop, or do we need to do them individually?
Your pleasure, Mr.
Let's do them all in one fell swoop. Mark, let's move on with the second one. Adopt resolution authorizing submission of a grant application for $70,000 for the core area drainage improvement project, and authorizing the city manager to execute all related documents to implement the grant activities.
Good evening, Mayor and council members. This, in a nutshell, this is the economic development side of the planning and technical assistance grant programs through the state. In this case, we can go up to $70,000. Staff would like to propose that if we're successful, that money be used for the planning, engineering, and design work on the core improvement project, which is a very significant upgrade needed in the downtown area. We are proposing for the local match requirement that we utilize our program income fund, Fund 570, to meet the 25% local match requirement of $17,500. And as you've indicated, we're asking for authorization for the city manager to do all of the implementation documents associated with applying for the grant and any state conditions and agreements that would be required to implement the grant, and any consultant agreements that would be required to implement the grant.
Okay, any questions of Mark? Hearing none, I'll open up the public hearing. Anybody in the public wish to comment or give testimony regarding application for $70,000 for the core area drainage improvement project grant for engineering and related studies? Seeing none, I'll close the public hearing. Okay, now back in our hands, council. One last chance to ask staff if any questions that may have arisen since their presentation.
I just wanted to say that I know you guys don't usually get told, but I had a chance to look at the grants that you guys get, and whether you get this or not, I think that it's good to recognize that you guys are always out there and getting a lot of grants. I know you get a lot of grants for the city, and whether it's you guys or someone under you, I just think that I really appreciate that. So.
Good, thank you. All right, I'll entertain a motion to adopt both resolutions as presented in council packet.
So moved.
I'll second.
Been moved by the vice mayor, seconded by the council member Copus to adopt both resolutions. Any discussion from council? Hearing none, clerk call the roll, please.
Councilmembers Kaler.
Aye.
Sirnola.
Yes.
Hoppus.
Aye.
Williams.
Aye.
Aye.